Welcome to Programming Pi. Today we are with our project bulk image transfer in socket using Python. And I aim to this project is to transfer a folder of images. That's a lot of images through the socket. To know detailed information about how the images are transferred, watch our last video on image transfer in socket using Python. Now what happens in background? Let me get a quick recap. A port is open in the modem by the server. A port is nothing but a tunnel through which the information is traveled. And the client is connecting to the port and the images travel through the modem to each of the computer and the image is formed by the client. So this is the quick recap. To know more about and detailed explanation of it, watch the last video on image transfer in socket using Python. Let's move on to the project. So link for the code is in description below. So this is the client code and this is the server code. As I said, server is the computer in which the images are transferred and the client is the computer through which the images are received. So it can be various computer, but I'm using the same computer for the sake of recording. Now let us move on to it. It says 192.168.0.103. If you run the same code without modifying these numbers, you may surely pop up into error because this is my private IP address. To know about your private IP address, go to the command prompt and type in ipconfig. You would get a number known as IPv4 address. So paste in the IPv4 address of yours and make sure to connect to the through the internet or else it will not work. And this is the port number through which it is connected. I'm using the port number 9998, but there's a lot of port number. But the early port numbers, that is 80, 40, and these are mostly received by the applications in your computer. So make sure to use the later port numbers. The recommended port number is 9998. You can use the same port number. Now let's move on to the project. The only thing after this IP address you need to change is the time.sleep. What does this do? While the images are transferred, a lot of images from a folder are transferred. So some images may be lost while traveling through the socket or some image may not be received by the client. To prevent this, you need to increase this. But increasing this slows down the process of the program. But if you as the number of image increases, you need to surely increase this or else there will be a loss of data. Now for the example, I'm using 100 images. So these are the sample images. There are totally 100 images in this folder. So 100 images are selected and I'm copying. This is the place where the images are to be kept and make sure to not delete these two images. And we are pasting the images. So totally there are one or two items including the ones which are not to be deleted. So go back. Now try running the code and check here. This is the client. This is where the images are going to be pasted. Let us see. So I run the code. For now 10 images are transferred. The program may run faster than this, but changing the time.sleep to a lower number hastens the process. But sometimes the image may be lost. A final images, 10 or 20 images may be lost. So make sure to slow it down. The reason for the images to be lost is that the server sends a lot of images through the socket, but the client needs to form a new image and read all the images and form it into a valid image. So it takes some time. Yes, one or two images are received. As we saw in the server side, there are one or two images, including the ones which are not to be deleted. Now let's close the windows and let's check it out. So this is the client where we saw no images were pasted last time. Now let's count the number of images. So yes, as you can see, 100 images are selected. This shows that our program worked correctly. And when you press the images, it's a bit slow. It can still read the images and it's perfect. So this program proves that bulk image transfer using Python is possible. A lot of images can be transferred. So you can experiment with this project. You can change the number of images. You can set 1000, 2000 or any number of images and change the time.sleep file or modify the code So anything may do well. You can also do a port forwarding to this code to transfer images from here to any other computer across the network. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe.